you'll never be able to do all of the things that you can do kind of in person with a person. Hopefully you'll just be able to teleport in and basically just show up as a hologram and work remotely and live wherever you want, be with your family, wherever they live, but just be able to show up in whatever place. I think that's gonna be pretty awesome, and I think we'll be able to do that pretty well.
It's gonna be a real issue for commercial real estate. There's not gonna be a lot of offices.
It turns out you can have a device on your wrist that basically your brain can communicate with your hand, tell your hand to move in like a pattern that it isn't used to, and then the wristband can sort of pick up those signals and translate them into completely different things, like having a virtual hand move in front of you while your physical hand is just kind of sitting there at your side.
Whoa.
So you'll be able to have this experience in the future where like you're sitting in a meeting, and your wife texts you and it pops up in the corner of your glasses and you want to respond, but you don't want to like pull out your phone because that's kind of rude, right? So you just kind of like, I don't know, twitch your wrist a little bit, maybe like this, like some super discreet motion that no one even knows you're doing it, and you just like send a message. And
that seems like a massive distraction. I mean, people are already distracted by their phones. Like when people get a text message and they're like, hang on a second, I just can't answer this real quick. And you're like, okay. And you're sitting there having lunch with someone and they're not talking to you anymore because they're looking at their phone. But now they're going to be looking at these AR glasses and just thinking out text messages. And you won't even know that they're distracted. They're just going to be not connecting with you.
Get some gifts.
People spend a lot of time with screens today. It's, basically computers, phones, and TVs. And I'm always amazed, because I spend all my time on phones and computers, that for Americans still almost half the time that they spend on screens is TVs, more than phones or computers. So
really?
I mean, yes, I think it might have just tipped to being in the last few years to being more phones and computers than TV, but TV is huge.
Because I know like Netflix and YouTube, I think a giant amount of their stuff is on phones.
It's a lot on phones, but it's a lot on TVs too. But we just don't want to amplify anger, right? That's like not what I kind of view us as here to do. So we're just going to basically take that signal and like not use it to show the post to more people.
So how do you do that? What if it's anger, but it's justifiable anger?
Yeah, I think that that's exactly the right question. Is basically, when I was making that decision internally, there is a lot of stuff that's wrong in the world, and people should be angry about that. And it's like, yeah, I think that's fair, but I'm not here to design a service that makes people angry. Right. So I kind of think that there's a balance, and it's not like there's not going to be any angry stuff. I mean, people can still react and say that something is negative if they don't like it, but I don't view our job as going and needing to kind of amplify all that stuff.
So why do you have the option to have an anger response?